At the sound of approaching footsteps, Ginny grabbed my wrist and the two of us scrambled down the hall. We quietly rounded a corner and slipped out of sight. Panting breathlessly, the two of us exchanged curious looks.
Did you hear all of that? The Loreleys think Owen is some kind of threat?
Some of the family think so, at least. It sounds like Owen's dad disagrees, though. This might be some useful info to pass off to Morse. Ginny nodded furiously as she rummaged through her phone.
I'll send him a quick message.
Her phone let out a soft beep as she dialed Morse's number. A low voice rumbled through the speaker in a familiar robotic filter. Yes!
Hey, Morse, we ran into a bit of a pickle.
I watched anxiously as Ginny relayed the details of the conversation we just overheard.
Owen, a threat.
He muttered under his breath.
That does make sense, given the Loreley's current situation.
What do you mean? Is something going on with the family?
They've been dealing with some aggressions from an unknown party for the past few years. Few people would dare go against a family as powerful as the Loreleys. As someone tormented by a Loreleys for years, and the inheritor of the Adlai fortune, Owen has the resources and motives to be a suspect.
That's crazy, though. Owen wants nothing to do with that side of his family.
They could easily interpret it as a ruse.
Owen's dad seems to support him, though. That means he's safe, right? Morse hummed thoughtfully through the speaker.
I think the most crucial part of what you overheard is this. It sounds like Oleander is losing control of his family. They're growing wary and desperate if they're willing to engage Owen in such a busy and crowded event. It's hard to say for certain if anyone is safe here. The two of you should lay low and avoid any trouble. I'll take care of things from here.
Wait a sec.
I pressed my ear against the phone suspiciously.
Are you in the school right now? I hear ballroom music in the background.
Hello? Click. Oh, come on, he hung up on us. The two of us exchanged nervous looks as Ginny stuffed her phone back in her pocket. So what's the plan?
I think it's best we lay low for now. Let's hurry up and find Samuel's ring box. We can regroup with everyone else and fill them in later.
Please let us get back to the ballroom before shit happens. Let's see, where the fuck? Searching is a hassle and we're running out of time. Let's just ask Echo and find out his ghostly abilities. You fuck. Ginny and I scanned every nook and cranny of the school, but no luck. Samuel's ring box was nowhere to be found. I flopped onto the floor with a frustrated sigh.
You really shouldn't sit on the dusty floor with a fancy outfit.
I shot her a withering look. This is hopeless. Maybe Samuel left his ring box in his car or something. I doubt we're gonna find it by wandering around aimlessly. Ginny tapped her chin thoughtfully.
Wait, you mentioned before that you had little ghostly friends following you around, right? Maybe they can help.
I squinted. Oh yes, suddenly supernatural intervention is an option. This is your way of getting around someone pointing out that they could have done that the whole time. Just being coy about it. You're being fucking coy. Being coy. Shiro coy. Although it might be worth a shot. He's definitely helped me find stuff before. I glanced around. The hallways were empty. Only Jenny and I were here. It's a little embarrassing. Cleared my throat. Hey, Echo, you there? Jesus. Yeah. Why are you being so self-conscious? I've never called for you in front of someone else before. Feels a little weird. Anyway, Jenny, this is my little ghosty friend, Echo. Can you see him? Jenny squinted in Echo's general direction like an elderly man struggling to read his morning newspaper.
Little? He looks like wisps of summer heat off hot pavement. I can tell there's someone there, though.
Echo beamed with delight. Oh, this is a nice surprise. I'm amazed she can sense me at all. Echo waved his remaining good arm in front of Ginny's face. His hand passed through her light smoke. Ginny grimaced and leaned backwards. Did he just touch me? Felt like a warm fart against my face. Excuse me. Echo looked utterly scandalized. John, yeah? Your friend's a little dick. She can't hear me, can she? Tell her she's a little dick, John. Or what was it? Do it for me. I glanced between Echo's fuming face and Ginny's confusion. Nah, I don't think I will. I will remember this betrayal. Oof. That's a thing for you to say. Anyway, I hope you didn't summon me just to ruin my day. Oh, we need you to help us find Samuel's missing ring box. Echo sighed, his ears drooping dejectedly. I feel like I'm slowly turned into your personal lost and found detector. Sorry. He sniffed the air gingerly. Well, I think I found your missing item. Follow me. And there it is. Oh, fuck. The three of us squinted high above our heads. Standing in a large nest within a particularly tall tree was an angry, squawking raven. And resting at its feet was a small, velvet ring box. This would be much less troubling if the nest wasn't a good 30 feet off the ground. Well, ravens do like to collect shiny things. So, John, you wouldn't have to be good at climbing trees, would you? If I try to climb that, there's a 100% chance I fall and die instantly. Yeah, I figured. Any chance your ghosty friend can poltergeist that ring box out of the tree? Echo floated at my side and scowled at Ginny, clearly still upset. Do you see me right now? I'm literally falling apart at the seams. I'd prefer not to use my strength for anything other than emergencies, thank you. Turned towards Ginny with a sigh. Ghosty friend says he won't do it. Not much of a friend, is he? Okay, listen here, you little... Oblivious to Echo's furious ranting, Ginny walked past him and scanned the tree branches above us. Maybe we could throw some rocks at it and knock it out of the tree? I don't want to destroy the poor bird's nest, though. I don't see any decently sized rocks around either. Do we really need to get Samuel's ring box? Maybe Owen could just buy another set for him. He's rich, after all. We can't just give up now. It's right there. Plus, Samuel sounded really upset when he lost his rings. They're probably really sentimental. Well, Samuel should really... Soft footsteps gently rustled behind me. It was so quiet I didn't even notice someone approaching us. Who's there? Oh, God. What the fuck? 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 The tall...
Like you're having a good time.
Oh, yeah. The tall, hooded figure was already standing closely behind us when by the time I noticed them. Ooh. Imposing in both height and posture, the way they were standing reminded me of a graceful cat with its hackles raised, ready to strike at a moment's notice. The face was obscured into a large scarf and hood, but I could tell they were following our gaze up the treetops. I exchanged nervous looks with Ginny. Hello? Can we help you? The figure stood silently, as still as a ghost. There was a brief glance between us and the squawking raven at the treetops before the hooded figure stepped forward. As they moved with the practiced grace of a dancer, each step felt weightless as they leaped onto the tree and climbed up with elegant precision. They reached the squawking raven's nest within moments. With a gentle flick of the wrist, the hooded figure plucked the velvet ring box out of the nest and hopped out of the tree. The hooded figure remained silent as they landed lightly on their feet. They turned the ring box over in their hands for a few moments, observing it gently before presenting it to us. Ginny and I stared at them, our eyes wide. Thank you for grabbing this for us. That was awfully kind of you. Ginny nervously looked at the ring box, took the ring box, and retreated behind me. Who are you exactly? You know, Visitor's Day isn't exactly a costume party. hooded figure stared at us for several long moments, their posture staying disturbingly still. Dots? Who the fuck? And there they go. They brought a gloved finger up to their face in a silent shush before turning and disappearing silently through the school doors. Maybe that's your Morse. Well, okay. That was mildly terrifying. Looks like we have another suspicious individual to worry about tonight. Maybe they're just really shy. They were nice enough to help us get Samuel's ring box. I glanced through the door. They disappeared through warily. Wait, do you think that was Morse? Jenny snorted. No, absolutely not. Morse is a drama queen, but he's not this extra. Plus, he's not that tall. I'll be sure to shoot him a message about our mysterious helper, though. Anyway, let's hurry back to the ballroom. The rest of the gang's probably waiting for us. Yes, let's get back to the plot, shall we? Our walk back to the ballroom was a brisk and nervous one. The dance was still lively, despite the night slowly drawing to a close. Parents, students, and teachers alike were laughing on the dance floor without a care in the world. It was hard not to see suspicious people everywhere I looked. Whether I was imagining it or not, it was hard to say. I'm going to be outside and to give Morse another call. You go on ahead. All right. Take care. As Jenny hurried out, I glanced around the ballroom for Samuel and Owen. I spotted them sitting by the punch bowl, chatting quietly amongst themselves, soft, nostalgic smiles across both their faces. A delighted and relieved grin grew across Samuel's face as he spotted me approaching with ring box in hand. Oh, you found it! Thanks a bunch, John. Samuel was getting really hung up about it. You really are quite a quality bodyguard. I don't think yelling at birds in a parking lot is in any bodyguard description. I tried not to smile as I handed the ring box to an eager and worried Samuel. Words cannot express my gratitude, John. These rings are one of the last few reminders I have of... Samuel trailed off as he delicately brushed off the ring box, examining it for the danny damage like a fretting mother. Gingerly, he flipped it open, revealing 2 glistening silver rings. Okay, they're still in there. Embedded in each respectively were a glittering ruby and sapphire. The rings looked old, but appeared well polished and meticulously maintained. Samuel brushed a finger over the rings fondly. So you kept them. Of course I did. I couldn't just throw them away. The atmosphere felt sensitive, but my itching curiosity got the better of me. Are those wedding rings, Samuel? I didn't know you were married. Samuel barked out a bitter laugh, his grip on the ring box tightening. No, I'm not married. He plucked the ruby ring out of the box and held it up in the air. The jewel glittered even in the dim light of the ballroom. Owen, you remember when the 2 of us snuck out of the house that day? Owen nodded with a nostalgic smile. Yeah, it was a few weeks before I ran away from home. You were going to propose to Uncle Graham, but you said you were nervous because you had terrible taste in jewelry. The 2 of us snuck out of the house to a local jewelry store and spent hours picking out the perfect rings. Graham always grumbled about my aesthetic tastes, but I figured he couldn't complain if his favorite nephew helped pick it out. The 2 of us were together since we were kids, but I didn't have the guts to propose to him until that day. It was going to be perfect. I had the perfect proposal date planned out, and then I would finally ask him to... Samuel sighed. But, of course, a few days later, Graham got arrested for a crime he didn't commit. And then... Samuel gently placed the ring back into the velvet box. Owen frowned with concern and placed a comforting hand on Samuel's slumped shoulder. Are you okay?
Yeah. It's been years. You'd think I would get over this by now. But I can't help but wish I asked Graham sooner. Maybe things would have been a little bit different.
Samuel. The butler chuckled quietly and gripped Owen's hand on his shoulder.
No worries, buddy. I'll be fine. Graham's gone. But at least I still got you in my life, right?
Owen smiled, bitter-sweet tears threatening to well up in his eyes. Yeah, I'll be here for a long while.
Ha! You better. You still gotta help pay for that broken window.
Samuel smiled and turned toward me.
John, I gotta thank you for bringing me back together with my boy. After being alone in that house for so long, I'm finally back with my family. It's the happiest I've been in the last 7 years.
Of course, I'm happy to help. Samuel chuckled and ruffled my hair with a soft grin.
Thanks. You're a good kid, John.
Jesus, this shit's heavy. Jenny stood a little bit away, watching us nervously as she held onto her phone. There's some rustling on the other end of the call.
Hello? Morse? Did you hear everything you needed?
Dots?
Yes, that will be all.
There's a long pause.
It looks like Oleander will be there soon. Keep an eye out.
Click.
Hello? Morse? I wonder what's gotten into him.
Yeesh. This shit's coming to a head. And not the fun type, holy shit. The night was slowly drawing to an end. I have a feeling that's not the case. The ballroom crowd slowly thinned out as parents and students retreated back home. Teachers were beginning to pack up the myriad of lights, balloons, and the spilt juice cups that littered the floor. Owen cheerfully dragged me to the snack tables to scavenge whatever food was left before the staff threw them out. Everyone took all that chocolate already. Without pointing and even looking. Waste not, want not. Granny always brings out their best snacks for Visitors' Day. Owen reached over and vigorously stuffed fistfuls of complimentary mints into his jacket. I glanced into one of the snack bowls and sadly plucked out the last gourmet chocolate. I should have grabbed all of them when I had the chance. Free snacks aside, I wanted to take this chance to chat with you semi-privately. Owen glanced over his shoulder across the ballroom at Samuel.
John, I really can't thank you enough for what you've done for me today. 7 years of guilt and bottled up anxiety just suddenly got a little better, a little lighter. Don't get me wrong, I still feel fucking awful about the whole thing. But things feel a lot better now, thanks to you.
It was nothing. Just doing my job as a bodyguard. You've been more of an emotional support buddy than a bodyguard. Owen grinned almost timidly as he tousled my hair. I gotta pay you back for all the help you've given me. Maybe a dinner date? A fun vacation? Late night booty call? You name it, I'll make sure you get your due. He winked and elbowed me playfully. He tried to stifle a laugh. I doubt I'd need to make a booty call if I'm replacing Philip as your roommate. Oh, that's right. You're moving in soon. Is there any cool stuff you want in the room? Party lights or a big TV? I got a secret compartment full of booze, too, if you want any. There's a sly grin on Owen's face as he leaned in close and whispered into my ear. I'm also available for some hands-on service, if you know what I mean. I sputtered and coughed into my sleeve. I mean, if you're offering. Dude, don't get thirsty at a parent's event. You're gonna ruin the mood. Owen laughed, winking as he waltzed backward toward the punch table. You should know by now I'm always thirsty. Anyway, do you want to get another thing of punch before they pack it up? Oh, interruption. Oof. Again with the oof. There was a heavy splash, followed by a high-pitched yelp as Owen knocked the punch bowl onto an unsuspecting stranger. Who is it gonna be? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I wasn't looking. Are you okay? Oh my, this certainly won't do. There was a wet squash, squash, squash as the other man awkwardly waddled out from the puddle of pink punch that he was now soaked in. Your suit! That stain's never gonna come out! I'm so sorry. I'll go get you a towel. No need to panic, young man. I can always get another suit. My dignity, on the other hand... There he is. Oh my. Uh-huh. The two froze, staring at each other like mutual deer in headlights. Oleander's face turned ghostly pale as he peered at Owen for several long moments, his breath caught in his throat. There they are. Oh my god. Look at... Who are... Dots? The other man covered his face as he stumbled back, physically shaken. My apologies. For a second, I thought. He shook his head, a pained smile weighing heavily across his face. You really are the spitting image of your mother. He cleared his throat, ears drooping with embarrassment. Oleander dusted himself off and stood up straight, doing his best to look as impressive as possible. I am terribly sorry for the unorthodox first impression. It is a pleasure to finally meet you, Owen. My name is Oleander Loreley. Oleander's hands twitched nervously as he reached out for a handshake. Owen simply stared, gaping like a stunned goldfish. After a moment, he gulped and glanced down at his father's outstretched hand. Your hand's still wet and sticky with juice. I'm so sorry. What was I thinking? Leander flushed with embarrassment and took a step backwards, right into the fresh puddle of punch. Oh! There was a wet screech as his handsome leather shoes slipped out from under him, followed quickly by a painful thud. The older man groaned as he slowly marinated in fruit juice on the ballroom floor. Are you okay? Leander winced before crossing his arms as he laid prone on the wet floor. Physically, I'm quite well. Emotionally, however, I've never felt more foolish in my life.
Me every day.
I promise I'm usually much more dignified. Despite the tense atmosphere, an awkward smile twitched the edge of Owen's mouth as he helped pull the man back onto his feet. You could have been worse. Well, it could have been worse. Sorry for knocking the punch bowl all over you. Dad? Oleander? Oleander's smile softened. You may call me whatever's most comfortable, Owen. At least anything that's not mean-spirited. My self-esteem isn't as robust as it used to be. I mean, you seem pretty cool for someone who just face-planted onto the floor. Oleander suddenly perked up, an eager grin spreading across his face. Truly? You think I'm cool? I mean, kinda? My son thinks I'm a cool dad! I never thought this day would come! Perhaps I won't make a fool of myself after all! Oh boy. A deep, unnaturally loud gurgle suddenly rumbled from the ballroom, followed by a very soft toot. The fucker farted. Alright, had to go there. Ugh. The room fell silent and everyone turned to stare at the source of the noise. What was that sound? Oleander stood stiffly as he gripped his stomach. It was getting very hard to ignore the stares of everyone in the room. That accursed yogurt. Hey, sir, are you okay? You don't look so good. Why, look at the time! I just suddenly remembered that I forgot something. Well, see you never again! With one smooth motion, Oleander Lorelei dashed across the ballroom and leaped through a closed... Again with the leaping through a closed window. Owen gaped as he watched his father sail through the air and disappear into the bushes below with a resounding thud, followed by an ouch! Owen! Are you alright? Who was that weirdo? What just happened? I feel like I just witnessed a car crash happen in slow motion. Was that really my dad? Oh, definitely. I think I'm starting to see the family resemblance. What? I don't act like that. Samuel and I glanced at the broken window before exchanging unconvinced looks. Right. Well, if that was your father, we should probably check and see if he's okay. Although... Samuel scratched his chin, with his one good eye narrowing with concern. Oleander Lorelei appearing out of the blue and on tonight of all nights. I don't like where this is going. Slow fade away. To be continued. I even gave it the slow delivery because I knew that was going to be the end of that particular update. Alright. So that was a 2-hour-long update to repeat out of nowhere. That's awesome, man. Very happy that artwork, comics, visual novels. Shiro, please, please update this fucking end slate thing. Patreon for Infinity. Jesus. Anyway, so there you go. There's the update for repeat. Long fucking update. But you know what? I'm glad for that because, you know, that Zazzle got so much attention for so long. I'm really excited to see what the other paths have to offer. I really enjoyed it. There were only a couple of spelling mistakes here or there, and overall, I'm really interested to see where this goes. Because I don't even care what the fuck the other route was going to be. As far as I'm concerned, once the author, as they're making something, says, nah, that didn't happen, that's not part of my story, then it's gone. It's fucking gone. I don't care about it anymore. Once it's, you know, done, if they want to amend it after that, then there's a discussion to be had. But, you know, when it comes to Owen's older path, obviously things were a bit different, but now I do like the overarching theme of the mob wars. There's something going on. Owen's getting kind of caught in the middle. There's also the internal power structure struggles with Oleander possibly losing his grip on his family, his brothers changing shit, his lackeys are kind of idiots. And of course there's the underlying romance between the two. There's, you know, what's going on with Morris, and of course there's the Ginny underlying subplot over all of these routes. And of course the overarching story, which is the repeating time thing. So it's like there's a lot of shit with this one. And I do notice now that since we are not on Zazzle's route, the title screen changed again. That is interesting. I wonder if each character will have a different title screen. I don't think pretty much any of the other visual novels I've been playing are doing that. That's pretty cool. Either way, thank you all very much for watching this update to repeat. I enjoy it. As always, I love seeing where this story goes, and I will hopefully see more of it soon. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I have been the trained and professional Decker Link. You are not, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.